Hi there. We are here again with a Faith Bite. This is Apostle Anthony.
Hello.
I'm Renee, and we had from Sunday in Fellowship, we are continuing in this series on spiritual health. And one of the points, the next point was spiritually healthy people know how to deal with difficult people. And that's going to be something that's needed on the walk of faith. And so, Apostle Anthony, I'm going to ask you just to share a little bit more on that in our journey.
Yeah, I was sharing with in the fellowship because if we're called to walk by faith, which we all believe that Abraham's faith is the example of the believer, we're going to meet people. Just as how God sends people in our lives to help us, the enemy will allow people to come into our lives. And they're not there to build your faith up. They're not here to challenge and encourage you in the ways of God. They're here to poke holes, to bring doubt, to bring unbelief, to bring discouragement. And anything they say and do is not about your faith in God. It's about trying to find issues in what you're standing in faith for. And it doesn't matter who they are. They could be the closest person to your life. If that person is always pulling away from your faith, you need to know how to relate to them in a way that keeps your faith, keeps your joy, and still don't just say, I'm done talking to you. So it's not this way or that way. We're going to know how to walk in wisdom.
Yes, and so can you share a bit on that? Because that's my daddy, that's my mommy.
Yes.
How do I, even though they're shooting holes in my faith, how do I navigate that?
Well, that's a very good question, because it's something that we all are going to face. First of all, the Bible says we're called to walk in the Spirit. And so the Spirit of God is going to helping you, guiding you with the fruits of the Spirit. That's long suffering, patience with people. If you know the fruits of the Spirit, you are unable to deal with somebody who's coming to you. Because it's not only a mental thing and say, okay, I'm going to listen and ignore you. You're going to have a spiritual strength and the energy that when they are finished what they're saying, finish what you're doing, you are still abiding in the Spirit of God and moving away from them and still keeping your faith. Now, if it's something you're going to abide in, it's not something that you can say, okay, you know what, I found what you're doing wrong and I'm finished with you. You're going to dig deep and abide in your spirit, man, in the Spirit of God. So even when you're around them, you don't let their spirit overwhelm your spirit. And I've had that experience many times when I want to share with somebody something that I really believe God is saying to me. And that person is saying, really? Really? And they're thinking about ways to see how it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because their spirit is not agreeing with your spirit. Even when you know it's right, you're going to have to be very full of the Spirit of God. You're going to be able to have gentleness. You're going to be able to have grace and still be able to thank you for your opinion and still keep your faith.
So the thing that I hear you saying is that as we wrap up is that you're really going to have a strong root system.
Yes.
Because if you don't, a spiritual root system, then it's going to be easy to be toppled over by these comments that will come.
Yes. And every time God gives you a word, there is always somebody around you, some test that where someone will come and say, did God say? You really mean, but God didn't mean it that way. And your circumstances wanted were people. So the focus today is not your circumstances, it's people.
Yes.
People. Because your circumstances will be agreeing with you, but people are saying, well, I don't agree that red light or that green light was God. Because we are not walking in your agreement with your faith.
Yes.
And the fruits of the Spirit and the gifts of the Spirit have to become very evident in how you negotiate your relationships with these people.
Yes.
And this is an ongoing thing. The Bible says Abraham was a man. I admire Abraham because Abraham had to do this. Moses had to deal with over 1 million people. And when God says, do not go outside and take any more food, they went out on the Sabbath day and they went out and they disobeyed and went to pick and grab the food the same way. Time and time again, Moses dealt with people who just didn't have faith to believe God.
Yeah, so wherever you're walking
Wherever
today,
you are right now.
We really are encouraging you to,
Yes.
again, hold strong in your faith. See how you can build yourself up in your
Yes.
spirit, man, so that your roots can go deep. So these things don't move you, and you
Yes.
can still, even after they speak to you,
Yes.
different ones make comments, you can still hold fast to your confession of faith and gather with those who will encourage you in it. We want to be a part of that for you.
Yes.
And so this is a part of strengthening your measure of faith.
Yes.
Thank you, Apostle Anthony.
Thank you. Stay in faith. Stay strong.